Weston. I love talking about the Astros, and I'm here to talk about Game 49 of the regular season. Astros win it 5-2 over the Dodgers. A nice bounce-back win after a 4-game skid, actually, getting swept by the Texas Rangers and then losing the first game, pretty embarrassingly so, yesterday to the Dodgers, 9-2. This is a great bounce-back win for the Astros, getting right into it. 3 things before I actually start talking, actually 4 in a way. One, right before the game, Yordan Alvarez was scratched from the lineup. Hopefully he just misses tonight. Again, we have an off day tomorrow, so that shouldn't be a huge issue, hopefully. Hopefully it's just a one-night thing, or a one-game thing, what have you, and he'll be better. The next one is a little bit concerning. Lance Mccarthy Jr., right? He went on the IL today. Now, it was shoulder soreness. They're hoping, from what I read, that it's only a one-game thing. But it's still a little concerning. Again, if it's only one game, that's nothing horrible, but, you know, I don't love seeing that. Now, on the upside, we're actually having reinforcements come back. We will have, to pitch Game 1 and 2 of the series, we will have, because it's fun, Framber Valdez will be back, and Jake Odorizzi will be back after their rehab stints, which hopefully they'll be good again. Framber is like he was last year. I will be very happy, or better. And again, that rotation is a lot better than what we currently have. If the rotation goes, once they're all back and healthy, McCullers, Valdez, Greinke, Odorizzi, and then maybe Urquidy. I'm a lot better with that than, you know, what we've been rolling out there with anyway. So getting into the actual, well, before the game, actually, I have another thing to talk about. Jason Castro was once again on the bench, and it's getting old. I'm done with this, right? I like Martin Maldonado as a person. He's super cool. I think it's a massive gesture that he took less money and a less long deal to come back with Houston. I think that's really cool. I like him a lot. But man, oh man, oh man. You can't look at the numbers and keep starting Maldonado over Castro. You just can't. Offensively, it's not close in the favor of Castro, and defensively, it's a whole lot closer than people try to give you credit for. So, offensively, Jason Castro is fantastic. He is getting on base at .397, which is tied for 4th among all catchers with at least 30 plate appearances, only behind Buster Posey, who is, you know, fantastic. Probably the best catcher of the decade, if we're being honest. Like, he's been fantastic. Carson Kelly, he's off to a good start, and JT Ralmuto, who is probably the best catcher currently in baseball, and he's tied with Omar Narvaez in on base. But if you look at WRC plus, it's not particularly close. He is in 3rd, only behind Kelly and Buster Posey. Maldonado is not in the top 50 in either category, and look, I like Maldonado a lot, but you have a guy that is at least 50% better than the average hitter versus a person who is 60% worse than the average hitter. And on base, again, it's not close. 397 to 236. And for the people that are saying, well, Weston, you start Maldonado for defense. That's what a catcher is meant to do. It's defense, Weston. The defense isn't there to validate it. It is, yes, Maldonado is an elite defensive catcher. 92nd percentile, excuse me, for Maldonado in catcher framing. Very, very good. Castro is 89th. The 3-point difference is not worth the offensive hemorrhaging that we're doing, letting a guy with a near 400 on-base percentage sit. The weighted runs created plus at 152, I believe, is better than everyone than just Yuli and Yordan. I think maybe Bregman, but it's very, very close. Like, it's time. You got to at least, at the bare minimum, make it a 50-50 split. There is no reason not to, and it's getting real frustrating at this point. On to the actual game, the bread and butter, the meat and potatoes, the entree of the evening, right? What you're actually here for. First step out of the game for the Astros, Altuve takes Trevor Bauer yard into the Crawford boxes up on the train tracks to make it a 1-0 ball game. After that, side note, he moves up a little bit more on the Astros all-time list. He passed Cesar Cedeno tonight for all-time. I believe now he is 4th alone, which is super cool for Jose Altuve, man. We are witnessing one of the best Astros to ever play for our team, which is just super fun. So that happened. Diaz would fly out to deep right. Bregman would walk. Yuli would fly out to deep right. In between there, Tucker drew a walk along with Correa. So now the bases are loaded for Taylor Jones, and he strikes out with the bases loaded. This is bad. Yes, we put a lot of pitches on him, and we got a run off of Bauer, but we really could have used to score more in that inning. Again, it didn't end up hurting. We won the game, so I'm not going to complain too hard, but That could have been a bad inning if we ended up losing by a run or so, which luckily we didn't. In the third, after flubbing a ground ball, Garcia would allow a single to make it a 1-1 ball game. It was not an earned run, but it still made it a 1-run game, or a 1-1 game, excuse me. And look, batting this season has been really inconsistent. Starting pitching, really inconsistent. Relief pitching, really inconsistent. The one constant has been the infield has been pretty darn solid. Outfield's been weird, catcher's been weird, but I don't recall any egregious plays by Altuve this season. And it's like, look, you got a Gold Glover behind you. Let him do his job. Like, it's as simple as that. This could have been still a 1-0 game, but 1-1 at that point. After that, he would walk Turner, and the bases would get loaded up, which is kind of not great. But he would strike out Will Smith. And as bad as I want to make a Will Smith joke here, I can't think of one. So he left Fresh Prince on the way back to the dugout. That sounds really corny and forced, but we're going to leave it in and keep on rolling, baby, because that's showbiz. Anyway, in the 6th inning, Carlos Correa would hit a home run to make it a 2-1 ball game in favor of the Astros. And then the 7th, they had a little bit of an outburst for themselves. Straw would fly out. Maldonado would reach on an error. Altuve would double, again, climbing that all-time hit list. To score Maldonado, make it a 3-1 ball game. And then Diaz smokes one into the Crawford boxes himself to make another home run, or hit another home run, excuse me, make it a 5-1 ball game. Then Bregman and Tucker would both make outs, respectively, which was not fantastic, but leave that ending up 5-1, nothing to complain about there. In the 8th, Ryan Stanek would come in. Sheldon Nurse would take him deep. I think it's Sheldon Nurse. Norris. I'm going to just call him Sheldon. To make it a 5-2 ball game. And then Bregman with a great diving play to rob Muncy to end the inning. Great play by him again. Let the defense do their job. And in the 9th, it got a little dicey. Brian Abreu comes in. I don't know why we didn't go with Ryan Presley here, but they decided to go the Abreu route, and almost was bad. He blew a game a couple days ago, almost did it again. Albert Pujols, the tying run, would reach home plate. He would come up to bat. Go ahead, run would be on deck, which was terrifying to me. I really didn't like that, but he would strike out Pujols to end it and got out of it without any runs given up. So the Astros get a massively important win and break this little 4-game losing streak they were on, which is pretty darn good to hear. Pitching lines, then final thoughts, and we'll close. Luis Garcia, 6 innings of work, 2 hits, 1 run, not earned though, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts. So he was pretty darn good tonight. He had a really good game, actually. Ryan Presley, 1 inning of work, no base runners, and a strikeout. Nice to see him starting to bounce back a little bit. Ryan Stanek, not great. 1 inning of work, a hit. It was the home run. And a strikeout. Now, granted, he got out of the inning in 13 pitches, so it wasn't like, oh, he let up a ton of foot traffic. So I'd almost prefer it be just the 1 home run instead of, like, 4 or 5 base runners to get a run. Well, not 4 or 5, because that's impossible to have 5 base runners and only give up 1 run in that inning. So I was, it's fine. Again, it's starting to get a little concerning with Stanek, but hopefully it will start to even out. And Brian Abreu got into some trouble with a pair of walks, but he would get a strikeout to end it. So final thoughts, Luis Garcia, fantastic, fantastic night. He is making a bid to be like, hey, I should stay on the pitching rotation. I should stay on the starting 5. Please, I'm good. Shutting down an elite Dodgers lineup to no earned runs through his 6 innings of work, 7 strikeouts. Fantastic night for him. Braley had a pretty nice, Brooks Raley had a nice bounce-back game. Again, picks up a strikeout, no base runners. Offensively, Altuve, pretty darn good, moving up the all-time hit list again for the Astros. 2 for 4, 2 RBIs, home run, nothing to complain about there. He scored 2 runs, so that's positive. Altuve continues to trend upward. I think over the last 15 games, he's batting .356, on base over 400, so Altuve, man. Back to his old Altuve ways, which is very, very encouraging and positive. Correa hit a home run, which is nice to see. Tucker drew a pair of walks, so that's cool. Tucker getting that on-base average up, or that on-base percentage up, which is always great to see. I thought he had a really nice play tonight. Kyle Tucker, lead defender, and I want to talk about that probably the next game, but I didn't want to make 2 big segments to start this one for Tucker being good defensively. And yeah, Gray with the home run. So this was a pretty darn good night for the Astros. Pick up a big, big win against the Dodgers to split that series. Start to try to make up that game on the Angels that we had, man, and it just sucks because you look at the run differential in our division and it's laughable. We are the only one with a positive differential, and after Oakland, the next best differential is the Rangers at -24. Man, oh man, the East is or the West is not a great division this season. It's looking a little sketchy. Anyway, that's it for this game. We don't have a game tomorrow. 2 off days in 4 days, which is strange for me. But then Friday at 8:10 Eastern, 7:10 Central, Astros will be in Minute Maid to take on the Padres. We will have Framber Valdez making a season debut. Boy, oh boy, I'm excited for that. 8:10 Eastern, 7:10 Central, and I'll be here after that game. So thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day. And as always, go Astros.